Are going over Mel Kiper's mock draft, and it's a very interesting mock draft that he released, giving our Detroit Lions 4 picks. So it's a 2-round mock draft. Real excited to get into this, and we're seeing a trend, and the trend I absolutely like. So we're going to get into this trend. Is it realistic? Is it unrealistic? All of that bad boys. But before we get into today's video, if you are a Lions fan and you're watching this and you're not subscribed, I say, why the hell not? Why? Because I drop Detroit Lions content every single day, and it's fun. We get into the news and rumors, prospects, and everything. Also, if you do me a favor before we get this thing going and hit that like button, that's fantastic. Is Mel Kiper? Well, he's the ESPN NFL expert regarding the mock drafts, and I actually like what he has to say. I know a lot of people think he's just an idiot and a moron, but I do like to see what he has to say. I like the trends, seeing what the experts think, whether it be CBS, ESPN, or any of the major outlets regarding mock drafts, because they do have some insight of what they're hearing from NFL teams. Obviously, some of it's smoke, some of it's real, but it is a trend. So I like to go through it and see what we got. And at pick 6, Mel Kiper Jr. has the Detroit Lions getting Will Anderson, edge there out of Alabama. This would be a slam dunk, home run, grand slam of a pick. He is the best prospect right now when it guards talent as well as off the field personality, because when it comes to him, don't have questions like Jalen Carter, but he would be a great piece to the Lions' defensive line. You add him with Aiden Hutchinson, my God, you got your bookends for the next 10 years, and you're smacking the hell out of quarterbacks. He's an elite talent. That's what he is. He brings that pass rush ability that we really covet and need here in Detroit. And for him to fall at pick 6 would be a run up quick with your card. The problem is, will he actually be there at pick 6? But in this mock draft, he did. 4 quarterbacks go in the top 4, and then you see, and again, there is a situation where Seattle Seahawks may like to go in a different direction, like Tyree Wilson or an Jalen Carter, something like that. So that's where a Will Anderson potentially could fall to the Detroit Lions at pick 6. He is best player available, so this would be another situation that we have seen with our general manager, that when you get your pick and the BPA is there, you just take it. So let me know in the comment section right now, he is available at pick 6. Would you draft Will Anderson? In the comment section, Y for yes and N for no. Let me know your thoughts below. Again, I think this is absolutely a slam dunk. I think this would have to be the pick for me, and you would go ahead and say that you already won the draft day 1 and not even picking at 18 yet. So I would love it. Love Will Anderson. Hopefully it happens. We'll be happy. At pick 18, Mel Kiper Jr. has the Detroit Lions drafting Bijan Robinson, running back there from Texas. He is trending in a lot of mock drafts. The Detroit Lions are getting Bijan Robinson. We're starting to see it. I've been talking about this for a while. He would fill it's not necessarily a need, because we do got pretty good depth at the running back position, but he would complete this offense and take it to the next level. Having Bijan Robinson, the most dynamic running back in this year's draft, who has great change-away speed, he can juke. He is a phenomenal talent out of the backfield as well as in the pass game, would be an amazing piece to Ben Johnson and Jared Goff. If you're trying to go BPA and he's sitting there at 18, that's pretty much it. I think it would be BPA. For talent-wise, he's a top 5 draft pick, but since it's the running back position, it is devalued. You'd have that elite running game. And you'd understand that in 2024 that DeAndre Swift would not be coming back. You would have Montgomery and Bijan Robinson for a couple years. That would be a kick-ass run game. Jared Goff would have all the weapons. He would. Play action pass. What he's good at in the NFL, in his game, is play action. Well, your play action would be absolutely ridiculous with Bijan Robinson as your running back, and you have Jamison Williams as your wide receiver. It would just be sick. Everybody be biting, big plays. That's what you want. You would have an elite offense. We already have a really damn good offense, pretty damn close to to elite, but this would take it to the stratosphere as a top 5 offense guaranteed. You're competing with the Philadelphia Eagles and the San Francisco 49ers for the NFC. And you're competing with the Kansas City Chiefs as the best offense in the NFL. You'd have a 3-headed monster. Again, it would be Bijan Robinson, David Montgomery, and DeAndre Swift for the Lions running game this year. So you could have a ridiculous backfield on any play. Ben Johnson could scheme up these players, whether you want Bijan in the back or as a pass catcher. Same with DeAndre Swift. You get that big run by David Montgomery. You're making options just the next level. And of course, there's injuries. There's going to be injuries. We've seen that with DeAndre Swift, where he has been injured on occasions. And when you're injured on occasions, you got to have players behind him. So if the Lions get an injury, guess what? You got Bijan. It's no big deal. Or if Bijan gets injured, you got Swift. Or if Montgomery gets injured, you got Bijan. So that's how it works right there. So for my take on this bad boy, I would absolutely do it. I've said it on my mock drafts before. I know a lot of people give me hell, but I absolutely would take Bijan Robinson at 18. It's not even a question. I would do it. Other players you got to consider there is O'Cyrus Torrence. He could be an option at that pick. Maybe one of the cornerbacks like a Devon Witherspoon, a Christian Gonzalez, Joey Porter Jr., Cam Smith. One of those guys could be a fit as well. And if they didn't to go pass rusher at 6, that's something they could look at for sure, how that goes forward. I got a question for you. Name me a player you want the Lions to select in round 2 at pick 48, their first, second round pick. Any player. It could be someone that I just mentioned. It could be another player out there. Let me know in the comments below. Let's continue on here with pick 48 for the mock draft of Mel Kiper Jr., and he goes Jack Campbell, linebacker out of Iowa. This would be the greatest draft, I think, possible if this was happening right now. I love Jack Campbell. He is an elite linebacker. He's my LB2. Trenton Simpson's my number 1, but make no mistake about it, Jack Campbell would make this defense much better. You want to have your captain on defense for many years. He would be the guy that eventually replace Alex Anzalone is that guy. He is the Spielman type of linebacker, every down back, physical, sideline to sideline, likes to hit, plays through injury, and can stop the tight end. He's not best all around, but he is damn good. Now, a lot of mock drafts have him now going round 1. I do think it's possible. I think a lot of teams may think he is LB1. But if you get him at 48, you're doing backflips in Detroit. So far, this is the greatest mock draft that I have seen as a Lions fan. And to get a Jack Campbell at 48 would be a steal upon steals. Right now, you would have your defense pretty much fixed. You got the secondary and free agency. You beefed up that defensive line in the draft, and you get your linebacker in Jack Campbell, who can play with Malcolm Rodriguez, Alex Anzalone, and Derek Barnes to be the staples for this defense. Defense would not be ranked 32 this year. It would significantly jump up, and with the Lions offense, how it was last year and this year, the Lions would be you'd have to see competing for the NFC. At this point, I'm not going to say, well, they could go ahead and win the NFC North. If they didn't win the NFC North with this type of draft in this offseason, it would be a sad day in Detroit, in my opinion. That's how much I like it, for sure. What do you guys think of Jack Campbell? Grade so far. This mock draft, A, B, C, D, or F. Grade this bad boy right now, A+. This is an A+ mock draft right now. We haven't even got to the second first-round pick. So my take right now, love what I'm seeing. Here we go at pick 55. Mel Kiper Jr. goes wide receiver here at Jalin Hyatt here. He's the number 3 ranked wide receiver in the NFL draft. 6 foot tall, 180 pounds. I think he has a little bit of curveball here, but he's a kick-ass talent. He is. He played 12 games, 1,200 yards receiving, 18.9 average, and 15 touchdowns. Look, I know we got Marvin Jones, but this to me is a BPA type of situation. You don't need a receiver because you picked up Marvin Jones in free agency, but damn, you just beefed up another piece of this offense. Absolutely did a phenomenal job right here. See, he went 2 offense and 2 defense. Wide receiver, running back, linebacker, edge. I like what I'm seeing here from this mock draft, and I think I just don't know if he'll be there. I really don't. He's the number 3 wide receiver. it's quite difficult for me to think that he potentially could be there at 55 for the Lions. But I got to give Mel Kiper Jr. his props. Excellent mock draft. A+ for me. I mean, you could go at pick 55. You definitely could go guard. That would be an option there if you wanted to beef up the offensive line. I think that may be a little bit of a better option, but I'm not going to cry over it. Spilt milk here. You could definitely go Hendon Hooker. There's a lot of connections there to the Lions and Hendon Hooker as the a potential player the Lions could groom for a QB2. You could go definitely defense for sure. Would you want to go another DB? Because in 2024, we don't have that many corners on the roster. But all in all, you can't argue with BPA. You cannot argue when a general manager just goes and says, you know what? We did everything in free agency. We fixed a lot of holes. And in this draft, we're just going to select the best players available. And when you select the best player available, it sets your roster up to be very good going forward. This is what good teams do. And so I am a BPA format type of individual. That's what I like to see from the NFL draft, and that's what I like to see from Brad Holmes, and that's exactly what he brings. So I do think this is a realistic mock draft. 100% realistic here. I think this is possible. If you get Will Anderson, that may be the question mark if you be there, but going with the positional groups that he did, as well as the talent-wise for his football team, masterful job to Mel Kiper Jr. Folks, in the upcoming videos, we got videos dropping every single day. Wednesday, OPP on Thursday, live. We're going to get into it. We're going to have a fun time. That's what we do. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on the latest news and rumors regarding our Detroit Lions.